Talk Time with Reid Moriarty.
Hi, Dad. I'd like to interview you. Are you in?
I'm in.
All right. How many surfboards do you have out in the garage?
I will say a dozen.
A dozen?
Ish.
Dozen-ish?
Yeah.
All right. If you could only surf one for a year, which one would you choose?
I would probably pick a 7.2 Chris Christensen Sea Bucket single fin.
All right. So, Dad, besides Cardiff, where have you surfed around the world? Do you have a favorite break?
Wow, all surfing questions. I have been pretty blessed, Reid, to surf all over the world, and I would say one of my favorite places in the world is Boneyards near Swami's, and the other one would be Noosa in Australia.
All right. Who taught you to surf?
Nobody. I wish they did. I would have learned much faster.
All right. What was your first job as a kid?
I cut the grass for my neighbors, but then I quickly learned that it was more efficient to get lots of lawn jobs and pay my friends to cut the grass.
All right.
For me.
So will you tell me a story I haven't heard about when you were my age?
I think the story that comes to mind is just how my mom and dad instilled in me to save for things that I wanted. So anything you want, whether it's a stereo or videos or a skateboard or something, you can get anything, but if you work for the money, then it just means a little bit more. You keep it nicer.
All right. Here's a question I might ask you, Dad.
Yep.
Do you like to go on hikes with me?
I do, Reid. That's what I love to do every Saturday, and we didn't do it today, so we're going to have to do it tomorrow.
All right. So, I love it when we play DJ in your car on Saturdays and on road trips. Will you explain that to the listeners?
Yeah, DJ is where each person gets to pick a song, and we just keep passing that around, and we learn to understand, know, and love each other through the music that we pick. And I have to say, that was going well for years until Reid introduced Album DJ, where you get in the car and say, let's play Album DJ, and I'll go first. And so the next kind of 40 minutes are all your songs. That was a smart move.
That's pretty funny, Daddy. I remember doing that. I think the live album was the longest album because it went on forever. There's a lot of songs in the applause.
So good.
All right, if you could only listen to one genre of music for a year, what would you pick, Jim?
Calling me Jim now. I think, if you had to pick one genre for a year, then it couldn't be a fringe genre like rocksteady. I would probably pick jazz standards.
Of course. So, Dad, what was your high point of working for Surfrider Foundation?
I think the high point was every single day understanding that it wasn't about me. It had nothing to do with me. It had to do with all these people all over the country and all over the world that loved something and gave of themselves to protect it.
All right, Daddy. So what is the best way to describe your job at 72andSunny?
I help big brands understand their essence, who they are, their DNA, and connect that to things they believe in already, purpose. And so it's brands and purpose.
Why do you love it?
I love it because the brands can scale an idea unlike any other entity on the planet.
All right. Do you have some advice for people in search of a dream job?
Yeah, I do. I think it's focus on your strengths, and beyond that, focus on what's not work, what other people tell you you're really, really naturally exceptional at. And compensation, money, and everything else means a lot less when you are just filled with stoke every single day.
What does stoke mean?
Stoke is just excitement. You are one of the most stoked people I know, Reid. You know how you're just naturally just so full of joy?
Of course.
That is stoke. In the dictionary, your face should be in it under stoked.
Are your top 3 favorite movies all surf movies?
I think so. I think that makes logical sense.
I think your 3 favorite surf movies is Longer, Sprout, and Shelter. What's your favorite non-surf film?
My favorite non-surf film is Bulworth.
Okay. And since it is almost Father's Day and you're the best dad in the whole world, what's the high point of being my dad?
I think the high point of being your dad and Allie's dad is that you both have probably taught me more than anyone else in the world.
Like the teachers?
Yeah.
Alright, Dad. Do you remember when we did that cowboy punch blue pool? What's your funniest memory of our 23 years together?
Well, the cowboy plunge pool was a funny memory, and it's up there when we were camping out in Joshua Tree.
And we heard, I heard a rooster.
It was in the middle of the night. It was still pitch black, and the roosters wake everyone up, and you sprang out of bed and you said, "What is that?" And I tried to explain a rooster to you in the middle of the night. That was pretty funny.
Alright, and that is it. That is Jim Moriarty, director of brand Citizenship at 72 and Sunny.
With Reid Moriarty.
Yeah, baby.